Great news is new week. You get a pot bill, you get a lobster bill, and guess what? You get a new stimulus package bill. No joke. It's bipartisan. It's exactly what the president wants. And the Temple of Doom so pissed off that Puff the Magic Dragon's going to go back and live by the sea. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mornings LALATE. It's Monday morning. I'm here. You're here. Thanks for joining me. And actually, the president and Miss Harris are in California. Come on by and, let's all talk stimulus. Come on set, Mr. President. Incredible morning of news. I'm so excited for you. So, boy, it is a jam-packed morning of stimulus news. I never saw anything like this coming. Let's get to the details shortly. Thank you for joining me every 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. For now, the Net's most watched morning news show, part of our 3.5-hour programming block every day here on LALATE. If there was a time or day to subscribe, it would probably be today. We're about to hit 250,000 subscribers, breaking all YouTube records, having launched less than about 4 months ago. So go to the front channel, hit the subscribe button, and hit the alert so you get an alert when a new video goes live. Also, like this video because it helps with the algorithm. We're currently ranking #1 on stimulus, #1 on stimulus traffic, #1 on sharing for stimulus. We are literally killing it because it is the Purple Power community. You're part of it. So let's get to the incredible great news today. There's so much news. Let me give you an overview of what I'm covering in this broadcast, and then I'll go into the details. First, a major new second stimulus bill will be introduced in the next couple days. No one's covering this except this channel. It is a bill that's bipartisan. It's bipartisan. It is the result of weeks of negotiations, and it's exactly where the president agrees. It's making Nancy Pelosi so upset because it's exactly the digression from what she believes is caucus alignment in the Democratic Party. Democrats are not aligning with her and are jumping ship to go do something else. The concern is that this inability to get anything done since May is not going to get them any election for seats in the fall. More about that incredible bill. This is so exciting. This would be legislative effort to get you stimulus checks and FPUC. Boy, I'm just really excited for you. That's the first one. The second one is major shocking news out of South Dakota, where ironically they got $1.5 billion of COVID-19 relief under the first stimulus package. Congratulations for the federal government. And if you take the number of residents in South Dakota and divide it into $1.5 billion, guess how much that would result in a stimulus check for you? $1,400. So exciting. It was until you realized that the governor's using all the money for tourism. More about that scandal coming up. Yeah, I'm going there. Another scandal. Moreover, finally, there is some really shocking details today about why analysts think that the Temple Doom's position is going to unravel very quickly in the next couple of days because there's unease among Democrats that her position is not going to get them anywhere in the fall election. So let me get to the incredible great news as we start this morning. Boy, I'm going to start with the South Dakota scandal. The South Dakota scandal is part of where this channel is heading you to. Under the CARES Act 1, you were supposed to get money in the form of stimulus, rent, food, unemployment enhanced benefits from your state because states were given upwards of $150 billion from the federal government under the first stimulus package. This is the one back in March and April. It went to your states, and the states were supposed to give it to you. Well, as I detailed in an exclusive bombshell on Saturday, and I continue to go deeper into the scandal, the states have done really bad stuff with your money. A, they've not given it to you. Have you seen the money? No. Have they given it to you? No. 2, have they given it to anyone? In some cases, they've never even spent the money. That's the first level scandal. Three, they have enough money to do what they need to do. And on the other side of the spectrum is Nancy Pelosi claiming that the states and local have no money to deal with COVID-19. Here is all this hundreds of billions of dollars sitting in state coffers they never use, and she's going around telling Washington they have no money. It's just sitting right there. The third problem is that some state and locals have actually misused the money, whether it's buying 2 cameras for councilmen's chambers at $16,000 a piece, or this scandal, which I'm about to get to, which is not giving you a stimulus check if you're a resident of South Dakota, which you absolutely need, or food, or enhanced unemployment benefits, but rather spending all the money on nearly a tourism campaign, and doing it with no authority from your own local legislature. What's going on here? Well, what's going on is that the federal government gave fortunes to every specific state, and that specific state was supposed to then give money to specific counties, and counties could also then give it to cities. It was a trickle-down theory, and then the money was supposed to end up in your pocket. It's just check your pockets. I don't see it's not in the pocket. Well, guess what? You didn't get anything. In some cases, no one got anything. In some cases, the money's just still sitting there. Viewers of this channel reacted to this bombshell reporting on this channel overnight, and the overwhelming sentiment, whether it was on social media or in DM or in private, was that the president knows exactly what's going on here. Thank you, LA, for this reporting. We're going to ramp up the social media campaign with the president to take back this money. This is exactly what President Trump was born to do. Take money that's not being utilized where it has been dedicated for, repurpose the money, grab the money and repurpose it and send it out as second stimulus checks and FPUC as executive order. What's going on here, LALATE? Well, the president over a week ago, last Friday, identified $300 billion that he can use for second stimulus checks by executive order. That's not in the Treasury. He does not need act of Congress to send it out. Later that day, I identified an additional $200 billion that the president could use for FPUC extensions. Well, there's now this type of data which shows that the vast majority of $150 billion dedicated for states, for stimulus has never been used. So the president should really just take this money and repurpose it for the purpose of stimulus checks, enhanced unemployment benefits, and other types of needs that can get into your hands quicker because the states aren't giving you the money. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem announced Tuesday that she's using federal funds to buy TV ad spots. Oh my God, I just can't even say this with us. It's just so disgusting. It's really disgusting. Quickly, her spokesperson had to defend it. She should absolutely be promoting tourism. Okay, so we understand what she's doing. Let me get off of that subject. Let me get to the reaction to what she's doing. She's taking your money to put food on your table to keep you from being homeless, to promote her damn butt. Her legislative people in her state are irate at her. 2 West River lawmakers, which is a part of that state, are now challenging the constitutionality of Governor Kristi Noem for distributing $1.5 billion in federal COVID aid relief to tourism without any oversight from anyone, just simply writing a check her own regard. They said serious issues. It's critical that the legislature be involved with this and get citizen input, because if we don't, the administration will spend every dime of this without our input. He's basically saying, hey, the governor got this nice check from the federal government, and she's just sending the check out wherever she wants to send the check out. She's not asking her legislature. She's not asking her citizens. This is the same process we had to follow with federal grants from decades ago. Since 1919, the legislature has dedicated the authority to the governor to spend the money. It's absolutely horrible. They're asking for a federal investigation of the governor for absolutely taking your money as residents of your state and sending it out on. Early on this pandemic, we were having town halls and legislative meetings with citizens. Now we're not having anything. She's just sending out the money. It's very clear the guidance as to what the money's supposed to be for, and it's not this. And if you do the calculations, South Dakota is not a very large state. It's in terms of residents, in terms of number of population. Take the number of residents in South Dakota, divide it into 1.5 billion, and you get a $1,400 stimulus check. And yet she's spending the money on Fox News TV ad campaigns. I just can't say it. It's so I'm so angry when I hear it. It was thank you for your very nice viewer who sent this to me. You know, this is a morning in which the Bobcat fire, which we have to keep the residents in our concerns and our prayers, is still burning. I've seen your messages. I'm not near it. I'm not endangered, but the air quality keeps on going better to worse, to better to worse. Again, this morning it's so bad. It's very gray, the sky. There's no light. So if you see bad colorization in this video going from dark to light, it's because of the fire. It's not because of my recording skills. As I see the light changing again, Bloomberg really is going to town this morning on what's going on with stimulus. Nancy Pelosi was asked, is it going to be a second stimulus deal for your stimulus checks? And she says, I'm optimistic. This is Friday. I do think we should have an agreement. I think that's what we all want. Do you believe her? I don't. Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell says, I wish I could tell you what's going on with another package. Yeah, but he can tell you what's going on with lobster. Now, here's what's interesting, and this is where it gets really, really great news at the 10-minute mark this Monday morning. I hope you stay with me because here comes the great news. Leaders of the 25-member Blue Dog Coalition of Moderates, these are Democrats, Blue Dog Democrat moderates, told Pelosi last week they want a new bill, on relief, and they want it introduced in September. According to a senior Democratic aide, they said enough is enough, Pelosi, do a new bill and do it now. Their last vote taken was in May. And a sentiment is generating that they're going to start taking a tally among their members to do the bill without her authority. I told you it's going to happen. I absolutely told you it's going to happen. Now, let's go more into what's going on. Representative Gerald Connolly of Virginia says there's a concern within the caucus, this is the Democratic caucus, that we acted on this, the HEROES Act, 4 months ago, and the currency on that is fading. We can't just go home and talk about something we passed in May. Budget Chairman John Vermouth of Kentucky said he has told his House leaders he wants a vote on a bill with unemployment insurance right away. We should pass a targeted bill with our top immediate priorities, UI, food support, state, local, and some small business help right away. He said Republicans have been able to battle us on a draw by claiming we were unresponsible. We should show the country we're serious and responsible. What's important to understand here is that this is one group saying that we have to do a targeted bill right away on relief, and this is Democrats calling for it for Democratic action. Now, this is just one group. Remember, there were two groups that are calling for it. Here's the second one. Representative Derek Kilmer, chairman of the centrist, which means you're in the center, you're a moderate, new Democratic coalition, raised the issue during a Thursday caucus call with Pelosi. This is on top of the Steny Hoyer comments that I detailed over the weekend. He's also a Democrat. Rebuffed by Pelosi, who said, no deal, I'm not moving. Pelosi called herself during the chat a master negotiator. Roll your eyes up right about now. House Progressive Caucus co-chair Pamela Japamel of Washington State said there are many of us, all of us, who want a deal now. The negotiations is more important than the symbolism of passing something. And there is that, but there is another part to this twist. The another part to this twist is that there is reportedly a new bill being drafted. A report today says that there is a new bill being drafted, and that is from the Problem Solvers Caucus. A new report says that the Problem Solvers Caucus, which is bipartisan, has met and will introduce this bipartisan bill in the next couple of days. The question is how soon and how quickly. The Problem Solvers Caucus, which includes moderate Democrats as well as Republicans, is working on a bill at $1.5 trillion. Why is that number so important as we sit here at the 13-minute mark? It's exactly where the threshold sits with President Donald Trump. This channel reported over a month and a half ago that the president was wanting to do a second stimulus package at that time, somewhere between 1 and 1.5. At that time, Mitch was 1, Nancy was 3. Then we're talking about trillions. Then in the weeks that followed, it looked like the president was somewhere around 1. He wasn't. 2 weeks ago, he came to a $1.2, $1.3 trillion offer on a Friday. Remember that? It was communicated by Mark Meadows. Well, since then, there's been widespread report that the president would go all the way up to 1.5. This bill is exactly 1.5. This bill is a result of the problem solvers. This bill is a result of the problem solvers meeting with Mark Meadows saying, what amount could we get these things done? Boy, if you're not grasping the incredible great news of what's happening right now, is you don't have just one, but 3 forces that are getting a second stimulus bill together. You have first the problem solvers, which is a bipartisan caucus that includes Democrats and Republicans, 1.5 trillion. You have the blue dogs. What's in their bill is not detailed in the value of the bill, the price tag. We don't have that yet. And then you have the New Age Coalition, the trans group. They want another bill. They have all told Pelosi basically the following. They have said, hey, you're going into a fall election. And the fall election's about, 60 days away, 80 days away, 70, it's very soon. You can't sit around and talk about something you did in May to people who are voting in the fall. It doesn't correlate well. I mean, it sounds idiotic. Elect me because I did something really good for you in May. And then I'm like, well, how come I've not gotten this money from May? It doesn't work. The next thing that doesn't work is the blame game. People think that this blame game is too risky, whether you're a Republican or Democrat. Nancy Pelosi, who's not up for re-election, doesn't care. She doesn't care about you. She doesn't care about your congressional seat. She doesn't care. She's going to retire. She doesn't care if you lose your Senate seat. She absolutely doesn't care about anyone but herself. And so ultimately what's going to happen is that a lot of people who value their seat in Congress don't want to lose it because a very bad negotiator, a very misguided leader says, don't do anything, follow my whims, and lose your seats. It's just very, very disconcerting. But what's happening here is a movement which I had always predicted. I had always said that moderate Democrats were not going to follow her beat forever. So what you have to do with the Purple Power as we start this morning, we're approaching 250,000 subscribers, is you have to absolutely tap into 3 groups. Blue Dogs, New Age Democrats. I'll tweet their handle on Twitter because it's hard sometimes to find. And also problem solvers. I don't know if they have a Twitter account. You have to show them that you give them top support to break away from her caucus stranglehold and say, no, Americans support what you're doing. We support what you're doing. We need this relief right now. Get it done right now. And ironically, this is stuff the Republicans will support because it's bipartisan. It's exactly the amount that the president wants. Boy, I always told you, if I could find positive news, if I could find correct news, if I could find the path to you getting money, I will find it. When this channel launched on April 25th, I was doing PUA, UI, PPP, EIDL grant, and EIDL loans. And my purpose on that very first day was to get people money. Get people money they were entitled to get but for the pandemic hitting, but for problems at SBA, but for problems with agencies that they were not getting their money. And over time, I got viewers $10 to $25 million they're entitled to, but had not gotten. I'm here solving new problems today. Every day I'm solving problems to get you money that you're entitled to get. And so as a group, the power of the Purple is trying to grab the forces that are working in your favor and push them to the front so that they get what you need right away. If there was a day to subscribe, it would probably be today. Go to the Funds channel, hit the subscribe button, and drop your comments below. I may feature them tomorrow's recording. We're going to pass 250,000 subscribers. No one in the history of YouTube has ever done it. It's because of the spirit of helping one another. This channel has always been about helping one another. Me trying to help you, you trying to help one another, keeping each other positive. Overnight I had some really nice comments from some people who jumped into an IG live chat And these were people who I had gotten them EIDL loans. I never knew it. You don't know when you're recording behind the camera how many people you help unless they tell you or unless you have a personal chat with them. And these were more people I had never known that I got to them EIDL loans, saved their businesses, saved their employees, saved their livelihood. The path is still not done. We're still doing incredible, great work. Also, like this video. We're number one in the rankings this morning. It's because of you. We're doing 15,000 likes, 13,000 likes, 10,000 likes, 20,000 likes. It's all because of you. We're now number one across the board on everything, so let's keep it up. Coming up this afternoon is afternoon's LALATE. I'm going to have more updates for this as well. And keep on sending me news stories that you think that I should cover, because sometimes I miss it. Thank you for the news story on South Dakota. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay focused, and stay LA for more.